Ladies and gentlemen, fantasy football drafts are right around the corner. If you guys do enjoy the video, leave a like, subscribe. I'll catch you next time. Peace. If you guys are a fan of fantasy football like I am, you guys know that draft day is right around the corner. Some might do it kind of like the week before season starts just because of injuries and whatnot. But I'm here to give you some rankings and react to some rankings from other people who would have draft specifically for wide receivers. So here we have a pretty famous one. I know the dude. There's a dude on Twitter. He does the top 24 instead of doing top 10 because he wants to get a broader range. So he has number 1, Jamar Chase, Justin Jefferson, CeeDee Lamb, Malik Neighbors, Puka Nacua, Amon-Ra, Nico, Brian, Drake, Ladd. To narrow out the top 10. Obviously, there's some ones on here that you're like, okay, yeah, you know what? The LSU receivers of CeeDee Lamb being wide receiver 1 after they pick up George Pickens. He might free up some room for him. Malik Neighbors, Puka obviously got Devontae Adams with him this year to pair up with one another. So, surefire shots, right? But obviously, these are easy ones to be like, okay, yeah, we know those guys. We know those guys are good for it. They're good for their first, second rounds, right? But I'm here to talk about more so the underrated ones. I like this rookie out of the Panthers here, Tutoria McMillan. I think he was a 6th pick in the draft. Super strong, super wide, big dude, good vertical. He went to Arizona University, I believe. And he just reminds me a lot of Mike Evans, man. Separation, he's quick, he's fast, tall, strong, big frame. I think Bryce Young, at the end of the year, you saw him kind of get in a bit of a groove. I think this year he's going to start off a lot stronger. He also has Adam Thielen next to him. They're going to pair up with one another. So there's one clip right there. Here's a second one. Just some footwork, route running, good turn, strong hands. And then another top 10 list here. Brian Thomas Jr., Drake London, Tyreek Hill, Mike Evans, Tutoria, like I was telling you about. Jameson Williams, Calvin Ridley, Rome Odunze, Stephon Diggs. And speaking of Calvin Ridley, I have here another one here. I think that he's going to be strong. For me, when I pick up my wide receivers, I'm looking at the quarterback. Is their quarterback consistent? I think Cam Ward is the best pick of the draft. He's going to be the best quarterback. I think the Titans found a good, strong leader. I believe they hired, what's the dude's name? Mike Vrabel back to the Titans. He's a good, strong coach. He's good at handling these young quarterbacks. So I like Calvin Ridley this year. I don't know if they have Tyler Boyd still, but he might be somebody to pick up. And then out of this top 24, my favorite ones out of here, obviously Mike Evans. You see Marvin Harrison Jr. He dropped way down the list last year. I know people had him really high. They had him top 10, top 8. People had him really high. Obviously, he was a number 4 pick. Didn't really live up to those expectations. But they have him on here as well. I don't know why, but he's on there. You obviously have T. Higgins. But for me, man, you obviously saw, I like Ladd McConkey a lot, but you obviously did see the Chargers pick up Keenan Allen again. So who knows what his output is going to look like this year. I think Ladd McConkey's due for a big year. Justin Herbert, I'm super high on this year. But I think Bo Nix is going to do very strong. I think Joe Burrow's good for it. Obviously, Sam Darnold with JJ now. Russell Wilson with Malik Neighbors. But Russell Wilson isn't a Malik Neighbors type player for me. I do think that Russell Wilson likes bigger bodies or smaller dudes. You saw him with Tyler Lockett and DK Metcalf. So who knows what Malik Neighbors is going to look like out there. Amon-Ra St. Brown, obviously good for it. I think Jameson Williams might challenge him a little bit more for that wide receiver 1 spot. I think Jameson Williams is due a big year. I believe he spent the last year, beginning of the year, he was suspended for PEDs or gambling. I forget what it was, but he was suspended for a little bit. And then we have Jackson Smith and Jigba. I think I'm super high on. I think him and what's the quarterback the Seahawks got? Sam Darnold. I think him and Jackson Smith and Jigba are going to be super strong. Garrett Wilson depends on how Justin Fields does. Devontae Adams, I have Devontae Adams higher than I do Puka Nacua. I know Matthew Stafford and Puka Nacua kind of have this relationship they have built for more period of time. That chemistry, right? But I do think that Davante Adams is a guy that demands the ball more often than Puka does. I think Puka's cool with his role. He saw him take a backseat to Cooper Kupp when the time came to that. So I just think that Davante Adams is going to have a higher output. He's going to rank higher in rankings at the end of the year. So I like Davante Adams as long as he stays healthy. He's going to be that number one receiver for me on the Rams. Mike Evans, always a surefire thing. I know Terry McLaurin requested a trade, I believe. So we'll see how that goes with him and Debo playing alongside one another if he stays. DJ Moore with the Bears. I don't love the Bears. Caleb Williams and Ben Johnson. I think Ben Johnson looks like he's having a terrible time as a Bears coach. Dude looked like he aged 45 years in about 7 months. Rashee Rice, I'm not really high on the Chiefs as a whole here. Courtland Sutton, I do think that Bo Nix can have a strong year. Courtland Sutton is somebody to look after. Devontae Smith, one of my favorite wide receivers in the game. Just a cool, chill guy. I like him a lot. But that's it for today's video. If you guys did enjoy the video, please leave a like, subscribe. I'll catch you next time. Peace.